Hi everyone, welcome to the show. I'm Tiffany.
And I'm Sam.
And Sam, I'm actually really curious. Have you ever got your fortune read? Either by a fortune teller or did you like read tarot cards or...
No, I have never go to a fortune teller, but I do enjoy reading those like small piece of horoscope.
Oh, okay.
That's on the newspaper. I love reading those articles.
Do you find it accurate? Like, do you think it's true or...
It's not accurate at all for me, but I do enjoy watching like what's your like lucky color, lucky sign, lucky little stuff, and I will try to match that, you know.
And do you feel like by doing that you've gained more luck or...
No, not at all. But it's fun to do.
Yeah,
like in your daily life, you got something, you know.
Interesting
it's like a game.
to do.
Yeah.
That's true. I think I've done fortune telling once, and I don't really believe in doing this kind of stuff because I don't really want to know what my future is like because no, there's a reason for this because I don't want to expect something, you know, like maybe the fortune teller say you'll be so rich in 2 years, and then I might expect that to happen, but then I feel like when you expect things to happen, you might not do what you're supposed to do in order to become rich, right?
Yes.
So I don't really like to have my fortune told, but like I have done one where like the fortune teller didn't tell me everything, but he was just like, oh, this is like your life, like your career, you should be really good at teaching and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh my God, how does he know? Like, you know,
that's creepy.
That's really cool. I like those kind of things where it's like, oh my God, how do you know all these things about me? And then he was just telling me a bit more about my personality. And like,
was he reading like your hand or
I think cards? It was my name.
Your name?
Yeah, like 算命. So it's like reading your name.
Just your names and your like birthday.
Yeah, so I think it's kind of cool. Like, whoa, how do you know all this stuff? Like, are you reading my mind? It's really cool. So yeah, I think that's the only thing I've done. And I've done tarot cards too, where it also kind of just helps you ease your situation. Like if you're struggling with something, I think tarot cards are cool where like they can be like, oh, you're dealing with a difficulty and like this is what it suggests you to do.
Yeah.
Those are kind of fun for me, I think. But I don't want to know everything. Don't tell me everything.
Yeah, it's probably not just about like what will you be. It's probably like currently maybe they have some suggestions to help you.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not true or maybe it's not 100%
it's something
accurate. Yeah, but it's comforting, I guess.
Yeah, but I think it's kind of cool how these things coincidentally kind of, you know what I mean? So I don't know if it's...
It's like watching Discovery.
I think it's just magic. I believe in magic. That's really cool. All right, so today we have a picture writing article or writing that we need to do. So let's take a look at it now. All right.
OK， 所以呢，马上看一下我们今天的这个连环图片的写作文章啊。今天呢，我们就要讲一下这个为什么要讲 fortune telling， 为什么要讲算命？因为我们今天图片就跟这个很有关系哦。那呢，我们的提示就说要仔细观察这个我们的3幅连环图片的内容。那第4幅图片我们画了一个问号，就是要大家想象可能的发展。那我们要写出一篇120字以上的文章，文章需涵盖连环图片的内容，并且呢有完整的结局。
Okay, so our writing prompt today says we have to look closely at the 3 pictures below. Think about what might happen next in the 4th picture. So that's why we have the big question mark there.
Yes.
Now, we need to write a story of at least 120 words. Of course, we have to give the story an ending and conclusion as well. So like we've been doing, like in every single story, we always need a beginning, middle, and an end.
Yes.
And I know this part, a lot of students kind of struggle. They get stuck on what they should write or how they can start. So maybe we can discuss what goes through our minds when we have writings like this. So when you do have a picture writing article where you do have to write a story, what do you usually do? Do you have any tips for the students?
Okay, I think first thing first, you have to look at the picture.
Yes, of course. And the details count.
Yes. And after looking at the picture, for sure you will have a few ideas. Like, I think it's the process of brainstorming. That's the first thing you have to do.
I think so as well. I think the main point of this is like when you do things like this is to try to brainstorm and try to be as creative as you can. Sometimes when I look at these pictures, it's quite easy for me because I think I'm quite a creative person. So I always, write down whatever idea that first comes to my mind. So you don't have to make a nice outline first. Brainstorming, again, guys, is just thinking about whatever comes to your mind, and then you can kind of play on those ideas, and then you can organize it. So if you do look at these pictures and in your mind you're thinking, oh, scary, you just write that word down first, because then you can make a scary story or something.
Okay.
So yeah, I always look at the picture. When I start to have an idea of what might happen, I start to think about 2 or 3 other possibilities or 2 or 3 other situations. And then if I do have more time, I think of like plots and twists for the story.
That's very important.
Yeah, because I like interesting stories. I like to write something that's really interesting, that's fun.
Unexpected.
That's really unexpected. So that's why I think about a lot of different possibilities.
Okay.
Yeah.
好，所以呢，刚刚 Tiffany 就提说，在写作最开始呢，我们可以看一下图片，脑力激荡一下，看你这个图片有没有什么想法，不管是一个单字、一个单词，或是一句话，或是任何的 idea， 你可以把它写下来，把这些想法记录下来之后呢，我们可以把这些想法归纳，去无存菁哦。那你可以就你觉得比较有灵感、比较有感觉的这个想法呢，我们再继续的延伸、继续的发展，那它后面呢就可以变成一篇文章。所以大家不要太害怕，不要太紧张。Okay, and however, not everyone is as creative as you are, especially when people are under pressure, such as during an exam.
Oh, yes.
I mean, you don't have much time. It must be really hard. So I think in this kind of situation, remember not to think too much. Simple stories or even boring stories could be fine if you got all the vocabulary and grammars right. Still, is there any way that could help us get more creative or help us become a better writer?
Yeah, it's actually a really good question because, yes, I know during the test, it's so stressful. You're like, oh my God, this is what I need to write. And then you have to think about, oh, what phrases can I use? What about my grammar? But yeah, like Sam said, if you really struggle with that, keep it as simple as you can. And in the future, if you want to kind of push yourself to be more creative, I honestly think reading is very important. And I think that's kind of the reason why it's kind of easy for me to think about these ideas because I really loved reading as a kid. And I still do when I have time.
Yeah.
I would read all sorts of different kinds of storybooks. And I think that's how I became quite creative. And I think when you read stuff, you feel really inspired by what the other authors write. You can think, wow, how did anyone think of this
different
idea?
Ideas.
Yeah. And it's also good for you guys because you can also take a look at the different writing styles of people. Like a lot of people struggle with writing in English and thinking about, oh, I need to use this grammar point or this phrase that I learned in school. But if you look at the way different writers write, some of them don't necessarily follow these rules. And they still have a way of describing things. So I think that's one way. And even if you don't have time to read English books, I think it's also okay to read Chinese books as well, even comic books, because at least this is just a way for you to get ideas and to look at stuff. So yeah, I think it's okay to read things in Chinese too. And you can also use these ideas, but then try to change it into English way of saying it. So yeah.
Okay, 所以呢Tiffany 有是提示大家可以多阅读，不管是这个小说故事书还是这个漫画书呢，多阅读，不管是中文是英文呢，可以多给你一些想法，在写作的时候自然就可以比较多的想象力，自然会有不同的想法，比较容易想出这个我们图片写作该怎么写。那如果是英文阅读的话呢，多阅读可以看看这个笔者，大家有不同的写法，不同描述事情的方法，也可以帮助你呢在这个文章里面有更多表达的方法。那脑力激荡完了之后呢 ，Don't forget to make an outline. It's like doing everything. You have to come up with a plan. Okay, you can be creative, let your imaginations go wild, but don't forget to make an outline. It will help you keep you on the right direction.
Right, I agree. Like, brainstorming can be fun, but remember, when you write an outline, it's just for you to organize your ideas, to organize how you might write it. And really, a lot of students who write down outlines, all they have to do is look at the outline, and then they just need to piece everything together. Yeah. And it's so much quicker that way.
It's easier.
Yeah, it's so much easier. It's quicker as well. So we can take a look at our outline. From there, we can also show you how to make changes and to make it more interesting, and to also give you ideas about, different kinds of grammar points too.
好，所以呢提醒大家这个脑力激荡完呢有很多很好的主意，很好的想法。记得呢我们要做一个 outline， 一个大纲把事情整理下来。有了大纲之后呢，你比较不会跑题，比较不会写到一些奇怪的地方写不完。而且呢在这个考试当中呢，如果你有 outline 的话 ，follow 这个 outline，follow 这个计划呢，你是比较容易把这个文章来完成的。
All right, so let's take a look at our first paragraph. And here we have our first topic sentence. We can say, Phil wasn't doing so well financially. Okay. Now, when we talk about finance, it just means money or economics. So this is a great word to use as well. When you're not well financially, or for example, I can say he wasn't doing well financially. It just means this person or he maybe doesn't have a lot of money, or maybe they have a lot of money problems. Like maybe the job doesn't pay them too much, or he has a lot of bills to pay. You know, he can't really live a super, super, super comfortable life. So this is something that we can say when you're not financially well. It means you don't have a lot of money, you're struggling with it. So we can also give a detail. How come he's not doing well financially? We can say he lost some money on bad investments.
Okay.
And as a sentence in a writing, we can maybe change it to, he had made some bad investments and lost a huge amount of money on them. This is just to express, wow, just how poor he is.
Yeah, a lot of money here. Yeah. OK, 所以呢，注意到我们这个图片写作里面呢，提醒大家几个重点。首先，如果我们是要讲故事的话，既然是故事发生在过去，那我们所有的时态呢，注意到是跟这个过去时态，我们在这边呢都是使用过去简单式配合过去时态的这个动词时态。那另外呢，注意到我们在这边有第一个范例文章里面呢，我们帮这个主角呢取了名字，我们叫他 Phil。在写作的时候呢，我们可以帮这个里面的人物取名字。这样子呢，在读者在阅读的时候比较不容易混乱。那如果这个故事是容许的话，其实你也可以使用第一人称来描述，也是没有问题的。那在刚刚呢，我们回到主题句这个大纲里面呢，他说我们的主角呢，他 wasn't doing so well financially。OK， 这个意思呢，就是表示 financial 这个字就是财经的、金融的，所以 financially 这个财务上的这个他表现的不是很好，表示呢他没有很多钱。为什么没有很多钱呢？我们就加上他讲说，因为他在这个 investment 就是在他的这个投资事业上面呢，他损失了非常多的钱，非常多的这个用法，大量的。我们呢可以讲说这个 a large amount of 后面我们是加上一个不可数的名词，注意到我们使用 amount 的时候呢，我们后面就加上不可数的名词。那除了 large 之外，你可以使用其他形容词，比方说你可以说 a huge amount of， 或者 a great amount of， 或是 a tremendous amount of。OK， 都是表示很大量的。注意到加上时间不可数的名词，我们说 a tremendous amount of， 很大量的。那如果是可数名词的话呢，我们就要使用的是 number。OK， 跟刚刚一样，我们是使用这个很大的、很巨大的这些形容词 ，a large number of， a huge number of。OK， 后面呢，我们是加上复数的可数的名词。OK， 比方说我们可以说 a great number of local people volunteered to help clean up the beach。许多当地人呢自愿来协助清滩。OK，a great number of 后面加上可数的复数名词，或是呢，如果要讲很大量的，我们也可以说 a lot of、lots of、plenty of。注意到呢，这三个片语呢，我们后面加上不可数的或是可数的都可以。
So poor Phil, he lost, we can also say a tremendous amount of money on the investment. So
that's bad.
That's the risk of investing, I would say. It's either good or, you know, some things are high risk, low risk. I guess he took a lot of high risk stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so now, going back to the picture, what happened? Well, we can say he saw a fortune teller's tent and went in. And we were talking a little bit earlier about fortune tellers. You can also say he went into a tarot card reader's tent, or he went into a tent and realized it was a tarot card reader or something like that. So you can always change it around to make it more interesting.
Yeah, it's also very weird why all the fortune tellers, they have a tent.
Yeah, exactly. I've always wanted to know why. Oh, I know. Because I think most of them, we believe they're like gypsies. And I think gypsies, they just travel around. And we always think about, you know, like they're very nomadic people.
Yes, yes.
I think it kind of comes from like, and I think gypsies also really do practice like some kind of magic stuff.
Yeah.
So I think that's where fortune tellers and tents, this whole kind of image kind of comes together. So
okay.
Yeah, we don't really see a lot of fortune telling tents here in Taiwan, but we probably might see it like in the States or somewhere in the Western countries. Yeah. So we can say he saw a sign that says tarot card readings and he went in. Okay. Next, we can talk about maybe he went inside the tent. So she's inside the tent, this fortune teller, we can say she waved her hands over the glass ball. And that glass ball, we can also say it's a crystal ball as well.
Okay.
A crystal ball. That sounds more exotic.
Yeah.
Right? She waved her hands over the crystal ball, and then maybe
magical.
Some fog appeared in the glass, or something inside the glass was moving.
She saw something.
Yeah, so you can say an image appeared in the glass. You can make it more kind of, whoa, creepy feeling if you want.
OK， 所以呢，在这边我们继续加上了更多的细节哦。他说呢，这个我们的主角 Phil 呢，他走进了这个 fortune teller 的帐篷。那除了讲这个 fortune teller， 除了讲他是一个算命师之外，你可以加上更多细节，比方说讲他是一个这个塔罗牌的算命师，或者是一个什么样的算命师，你可以再把它加上去。那呢，我们讲说他这个 waved her hands， 他这个挥他的手，对着什么东西挥手呢？他的这个 glass ball， 或者你可以讲 crystal ball， 他的水晶球、玻璃球。OK， 你可以增加很多描述比方说讲说这个冒出烟雾啊，或者他看到什么东西，还是发出什么声音等等，让你这个文章更加的生动，更多的细节。
All right, so we can move on to our second topic sentence. This can be kind of like the middle of our story. So the second topic sentence, we can say, to Phil's surprise, the fortune teller told him that his financial troubles would soon be over. Okay, so he had a pretty good reading, we can say. Signs were pointing to something positive. And then we can write another detail. We can say, inspired, Phil started writing a story. Okay, so... This kind of reminds me of Harry Potter, actually. We'll talk about this later. Okay, so he says, inspired, Phil started writing a story. And then in her writing, we could say, Phil was very surprised, or Phil was shocked when she told him that his financial troubles would soon be over and that he'd be a rich man. Okay, so...
OK， 所以呢，看到我们刚刚这边后面主题句第二段呢，我们就来讲说算命师告诉他什么事情，这边剧情又开始出现转折了。他说呢，这个算命师告诉他说，你这个财务问题很快的会结束哦。所以呢，这个 Phil 就非常的受到了这个激发，是这个启发，所以他就写了一个故事。所以看到我们这个 A 的主题句他说呢 ，inspired。OK， 注意到这边是一个分词构句的用法，因为 inspired 跟后面我们子句 A、子句 B 逗号前后呢，其实都是这个 Phil 当做主词。我们可以说 Phil was inspired and Phil started writing a story. OK， 但是呢，在这边我们使用分词构句，我们就把这个前面的主词省略。那因为它是被启发了，所以我们使用的是过去分词 PP inspired. OK， 这样子写法呢，可以让你的这个文章呢句子看起来不要漏等，不要一直 feel， 不要一直 n。OK， 分词构句用法非常好用。那另外呢，在这边呢，我们讲说这个 when she told him that his financial troubles would soon be over and that he'd be a rich man， 在这边呢，这个句子呢，我们的结构非常特别我们使用了两个 that 子句作为 told 的受词。特别注意当我们同一个动词有两个或是以上的 that 子句当做受词的时候呢，我们只有第一个 that 可以省略。OK， 注意到只有第一个 that 可以省略，后面的都不能省略。比方说，我们造个例句。The man admitted, OK， 他承认了什么事情？我们后面用 that 当子句that he'd stolen Miss Jones's purse and that he'd taken all the money inside。那我们第一个 that 可以省略，第二个 that 不能省略，所以我们句子可以改写成 The man admitted he'd stolen Miss Jones's purse and that he'd taken all the money inside。OK。这位男子承认了这两件事情。那注意到第一件事情的 that 可以省略，第二件事情的 that 不能省略。OK， 特别注意到这个用法。
Okay, next we can add more details to this story. It says, before long, he written an entire book. Or we can say, before he knew it, he written an entire book. Okay. The next detail we can say Phil sent his book to a publisher. Okay. Now, a publisher is just basically someone who prints books or magazines. So if you want to become a writer or if you have a book or any kind of, you can even publish a poem.
Yes.
You could send them to a publisher or a book company or a magazine company. Just an easy way to say that.
OK， 所以呢，我们看到这边他说 before long 呢，就是没有多久就是顺很快的意思，或者是像刚刚 Tiffany 讲的 before he knew, before he knows， 在他认知到这件事情之前，在他发现之前，就是这么快他已经完成了这个 entire， 就是他完成了整本书，并且他把这本书送去给这个 publisher 呢 publish 这个动词就是发布，所以 publisher 就是发行商，比方说像是杂志出版社，我们都可以说它是一个 publisher。
And then let's give this story a good hooray kind of, turnout because this poor Phil is so unlucky. We could say Phil's book became a bestseller.
Yay!
Or his book became a best-selling. It was a best-selling book. So there's different ways for you to change it around. And like I mentioned earlier, it kind of reminds me of J.K. Rowling. She is the author of the Harry Potter book series. And I think before that, she was also kind of struggling with money. And so she would write stories about Harry Potter to kind of, escape this reality. And she decided to also send her book out to a publisher, and people loved it. And Harry Potter became a huge hit overnight. I remember when the book first came out, it was like sold out, and everybody was like, this is a really great book.
It's really good.
Yeah, exactly. So, in our writing, we can say the publisher loved it, and so did the rest of the world. Okay, so just like J.K. Rowling, everybody loved the book, and the whole world love this too.
Yeah, it's very nice. She actually draw inspiration from her bad reality and make something great.
Make something positive
turn
too.
Turn everything around.
And she really changed, I think Harry Potter really changed a lot of children's lives as well. So it's good that we have people like that. So be inspired. Do more
I know
reading.
the spells.
Yes.
OK, 所以呢，看到这边我们句子，他说 OK， 这个出版商非常喜欢，然后这个世界的其他地方，也就是说全世界的读者，其他人呢也非常喜欢，也非常喜欢这边。我们大家可能都知道，比方说你可以用逗号 to 或者是 also， 但在这边我们用了这个句型是这个第一个句型 OK， 主词加动词逗号，这个是我们的子句 A， 子句 B 呢我们用 and 连结，但是我们说 and so OK and so 后面加上助动词或是 be 动词，再加上我们的这个主词OK， 注意到这个方法，在第二个句子呢，我们把这个助动词或是 be 动词提到了主词之前，而且呢，我们必须要搭配的是连接词 and 来做使用。比方说呢，我们可以说 Mason has sent out his college applications。OK， 梅森已经寄出了他的大学申请表 ，and so have most of his classmates。OK， 其实呢，我们第二个子句我们可以讲说 OK。And most of his classmates also have sent out their college applications. OK， 他的大多数同学也已经把这个送出去了，但是我们在这边改写，我们把这个助动词 have 提到了主词之前，所以 and so have most of his classmates. 我们再造一个句子Aurora's parents are proud of her for getting her dream job, and so are her friends. OK， 注意到我们第一个句子呢，主词是这个奥洛拉的父母非常的骄傲，他的朋友们呢也是 and so are her friends. OK， 我们后面呢也可以写说 and her friends are proud too. OK， 他的朋友们呢也很骄傲，但在这边我们说 and so 后面是用 are 这个 be 动词提到了第二个主词之前，这个呢是这个 and so 怎么样，这个也是的另外一种写法。
And then lastly, of course, we need to write an ending for the story, so we have a conclusion. And it says, the fortune teller had been right. Phil became a wealthy man indeed. So we can also say the fortune teller's prediction came true. Phil became a very rich man, or he became a wealthy man. Wealthy is also a very good word to use instead of rich. So a good ending to this story. Poor Phil. We don't want to make him too poor again, but a good ending to this story. All right, so let's take a quick break and we'll be right back. Unit 4, Picture Writing, January 4th. Writing Sample 1. Phil wasn't doing so well financially. He had made some bad investments and lost a huge amount of money on them. Miserable and tired on his way home, Phil looked up and saw a fortune teller's tent. Feeling hopeful, he decided to have a look inside. The fortune teller invited Phil to sit down, and she started to wave her hands over the glass ball on the table. Phil was very surprised when she told him that his financial troubles would soon be over and that he'd be a rich man. He went home feeling inspired and sat down to write a story the minute he got back. The words poured out of him and onto the paper. Before he knew it, he'd written an entire book. Phil remembered the fortune teller's words and sent his book to a publisher. The publisher loved it, and so did the rest of the world. Phil's book became a bestseller. The fortune teller had been right. he became a very wealthy man indeed. Writing sample 2. Gerald was walking home from work, contemplating the fact that he had just been fired. As he was running through all the bills he wouldn't be able to pay in his head, he looked up and noticed a fortune teller's booth on the roadside. Thinking it couldn't hurt, Gerald stepped into the booth and sat down in front of Mystic Mabel. Although Gerald couldn't help but feel uncomfortable and even a bit silly as Mabel consulted her crystal ball, those feelings vanished as she glanced up at him with a knowing smile. Mabel had good news for Gerald. He wouldn't have to worry about money for long. Gerald couldn't believe his ears. Mabel had told him the one thing he'd needed to hear. Feeling lucky, Gerald decided to buy a lottery ticket at a convenience store around the corner from Mabel's booth. While waiting, he noticed a "Now Hiring" sign in a window across the street. Gerald decided to skip the lottery ticket and try his luck getting a new job instead.
Yeah.
All right, so that's all the time that we have for today. We hope you guys had fun reading this and writing this as well. Of course, make your own story. You can think about your own ideas. And that's all the time we have for today.
Yes.
So we'll see you guys soon.
Bye.
Bye.